How to use line charts with supply and demand is a concept that many traders do not understand. So we'll go through this today and I will show you how simple it can be done. Now I'm on the New Zealand US dollar on the 4-hour time frame, and you can see we've got the line chart on here. Now, if you haven't already been through those previous two videos on how to trade with line charts and how to trade with price action with line charts, I do suggest watching those first because it'll make much more sense in this video. Now, as we've already been through in these videos, you'll understand the use of the breaker structure. Now, we can also look at the line chart itself with a larger swing, okay, break of structure here to the upside. Then we have another break to downside, a pull back, okay, a small break here. We then have a break here to the upside again. And then eventually we have another break to the downside here. So to show you this quickly, what this is, we have a push up, pull back, a push up, a break to downside, okay, break up, and eventually a break to downside. So understanding this concept is that we are on larger swings. We also have the smaller swings with these small moves within those moves. So we can see all the way down here, we have areas where we have supply zones being created. And we're also going to have larger zones here of supply that we'll be able to mark off as well in the market. Now, obviously we didn't break out here, but we'll have a smaller zone that we can use where we have the reversal. That's understanding market structure. Understanding the use of your internal and your swing structure. So if I just put price quickly back on the chart, you're going to find there's a last buy to sell move here. I can mark out and I'll go back to line chart to show you this is the break of structure you would see leaving this area of supply. Now, when the market drops down here, we pull all the way back up into the area of supply where you can look for an entry. Now, how do we look for an entry? Well, simply we can look for the reversal. There is another reversal out of the supply. Going back to price, what does that reversal leave us? That will leave a new area of supply you can draw. Now, it's near enough the same size, but you can see we pull back in, and that would be in your entry, stop above the high, and your first target will be in the previous low, and then you look for the trade to run to next targets. So that's how we just look at using a supply and demand approach with the line chart. Okay, we're looking for those larger swings that we marked out, and again down here we would use this last buy to sell move that we mark out as our area of supply. Now prices never come back to the area, and internally we have a dropout pull back into it, so we can see, okay, understanding the line chart. Let me just zoom into this area. Just going drawing tool, we have the break here to downside, the pull back in here where you can capture an entry, and then we continue to break down. Okay, we break down, and you can see that the market continues to be bearish. Now, understanding this concept, this is where you're going to find was probably in these areas, okay, sweeps of liquidity. Let me just back some of this off. Now, liquidity is something that we're going to have to dive into more deeper, and you're also going to have that full playlist where you can go through liquidity as well inside the channel. But if we now just quickly go to price here, you're going to find lots of wicks here to the upside. We also have this area here of supply. So if we just go back quickly to the line chart, I'll show you where we had that breakout. Okay, so we had this break here to the downside, area of supply. We have a break here to downside. Now right here, there was that sweep we just saw. Now you're not going to see that, but to the left, we have an area of imbalance. Now we can identify imbalances just by looking at the line chart. And again, we will have to do another video going through using of imbalances. Now, if that's something you want to see, a video on using imbalances with the line chart, drop me a comment below and let me know that is the next video you want to be watching. Now, just quickly going to price, you can see this candle shows me the area of imbalance where this wick pushes into. There is our sweep, and then we create this area of supply. Now we can identify the market comes into this supply. Okay, we have a sweep inside here, and then we run to the downside. Go back to line chart. Okay, that means we're looking for price to eventually take out this low. That does happen here, and then we run back up for that sweep. Now, understanding liquidity here in the market, we're inside the area of supply. Back here, potentially this breakout does create a new area of supply here, and price does run back up. Now, as soon as I see a close up here, I understand it's going to run the high and give me a sweep of this high right here. Then we have this nice rejection candle. That is an entry trigger that I will be taking, understanding the use of the candlesticks, and we run down for the lows. Now we're looking for this major swing to the downside. Again, it's very, very simple process. We look at the next level. There's your breakout. Just grab the right line. There's our next breakout. And again, you can see the continuation where price continues to break to the downside. And we do this until we break through this major swing. Now, once we've broken through this major swing, we expect a pullback. And again, you're going to learn all of that through that market structure playlist in the channel. Now, if we just go across, we'll see what actually happens here. Hey traders, we'll get back to the video in just a moment, but I wanted to give you a gift for hanging out with me today. I want to give you access to my Telegram community. This trading community will share my chart markups and give you access to my trading strategy. But it's more than just a community. You're going to have some actionable steps to accelerate your growth with hanging out with other like-minded traders, all looking to improve their trading. And it's free as my gift to you. So just hit the link above now to join the Telegram community. Now back to the video. We don't need this on here now. We can see that the market does break out, goes a bit lower, creates the pullback in here, and then we drop to the downside. Now this is very, very complex, this bit of price action. Now just looking at the line chart may confuse you, but if you look at the line chart in the bigger swings, you start to see more of a direction. So we can see with that push down here, a pullback, a break to downside, a break to the upside, and now break to downside, pullback, continuation. Okay, that's your larger swings. Now again, like I said, we have these smaller swings within, and we can see this area of supply was created, a reversal out for potential sell. Again, down here, we create this area of demand to the upside from this reversal, even though we broke out, and we went back into this area of supply. Put price back on the chart, we can see that we held this last area here of supply, and we pushed down towards this demand zone again, which held price. Now at this point, when we're up here is where we're looking for that sell to come back down to this area of demand created, or even run this low. Now we can identify we had a great opportunity to sell here all the way down. And again, just quickly show you the entry would have been here. Now you could either take in a sell and forget entry off this zone, or waited for a candlestick. If you waited for a candlestick, we have an engulfing candle here, stop loss, and you could have targeted this area of demand over 3 to 1, or you go for this level head we run, which is also going to be a target of nearly 4 to 1. So just understanding the concept, okay, we're in a range bound market here, but we continue to be bearish after we broke structure. Now we have the major swing and the internal swings. I will be looking to target this demand zone, understanding this. Now, when the market does break through again, that's where you see the reversal. Again, inside here, there's no reversal we can look for. Okay, this is the area that holds price. Okay, we never break lower. We don't get a reversal here to go long because we're already sold here. We're expecting full continuation to go lower. So once the market does break out, that gives us a bullish bias. Remember, we then create an area here, potentially go back to price, where we'd have an area of demand. Now that would be the last bearish candle we could draw here, or you could use the full body of this candle as a full zone, but that's going to be a rather large zone. So there is your area, okay, marked out. We broke this level here, continued up. And that's how we look at the areas of supply and demand using the line chart. Now you can see price again comes back in. Now when we do come here, what can we do? We can look for that reversal out. So price comes in, makes the last push lower. Now that is a sweep through into there. We then make this breakout, okay, here to the upside. Now we go to price, you'll find there is your push up, sweep of this low, engulfing candle. There is your entry as we break out higher. Stop at the low, Now you can target the area of supply because we already have this area of supply. We saw the reversal out of major swing high, and you can look for the market to run that high if you want to expect a continuation. Now, if you're looking for those next areas of supply and demand, you're more likely to get your trades in and out of the market. Back to the line chart, there's that reversal back out. Now at this point, we do have a bullish bias, and you would be expecting this level here to get run. Now, again, if you're using a line chart, you can use it for your targets if you wish. And if we use it for your targets, it gets hit. The same being if we're using this level down here. Let's mark this one off. If you're using this level as your target, when you took an entry off this area of supply, understanding going with that structure, we get hit the level. So using your close prices for your targets will work fantastically well once you understand the concept. You can see here again that level gets hit before we reverse. Now, if we're looking for a sell here off this area of supply, where would be our target? Again, okay, understanding the line chart, we never broke out. That means this level here remains the potential target. Because we failed to break out, you can expect price to want to run this low. That'll be our first target, second target this low. If we go back to price, we can see both those levels are run quite quickly. Now we do have a sweep back up here. So we look back at the line chart, we can identify, and this very, very often happens, an area of divergence. We're making a lower high, but going back to the price chart, the wicks make a higher high. So that's a great area to look for when you're using liquidity sweeps in the market. If you see that area where we're making a lower low on this line chart, but a higher high on price, that's a good continuation signal. That's a tip that not many people are going to see in this video because they probably haven't watched this point. So if you have, just write down you understand the divergence technique by using the sweeps in the market. So again, look, once we see this break, now currently on price to downside here, that's going to leave an area of imbalance on this move down. I would suggest let's have a look at price. There's your area of imbalance. Again, we'll do a video next on that and come back to retest that imbalance and this previous level, and the market continues down. So we go back to the line chart. You can see how simple this is. We see the next breakout. Again, we have an area of supply. This is an origin zone. This is a breakout zone. Go back to price, and we can mark this off. That is your origin zone. Again, you can mark off the last buy to sell move here, or just that last candlestick. And the other breakout zone would be this zone right here. Now price does come back just about to that level and tags it. And we just go back to the line chart. You can see we then break out once again. We continue to fall to the downside here, new area of supply, which we need to go back to price and mark out that last buy to sell move on that candlestick. Price comes back, zoom in. Mark it on the right point. Okay, so the price comes back into that zone right now. We could potentially be going lower. And there is another way you can use line charts. You can go down to a lower time frame here on a 15-minute. Okay, and we can look for a line chart reversal. So looking at this swing structure, you can see that the market has been bullish here. We pushed up, okay, pulled back, pushed higher, and currently we're in this area. So if we break this structure here, pull back, that's a reversal, understanding the bigger swings. Now we go tighter in and look at price here. We can identify there's that main structure break to the upside. We've also had now this smaller break to the downside here. If we go back to price, you'll be able to see this is our last major buy to sell move. And this is then that last area that we can mark out right there. Now we can mark it off the high of that move, and you can see that prices actually come back in and had a big drop back out. So now going back to the line chart, our reversal is going to be this low here. So if the market is to hold here and we continue down, that's the likelihood area we expect price to go to. And again, this level. Remember, these levels, okay, these closed prices are going to work absolutely brilliantly for your targets. So you can see that we come off this level. Now we're holding, okay, at this area. But for major swing reversal, we've got to see this being broken first, then the pullback to an area of supply. Okay, that's how we look at this. We're using multiple time frames. Okay, you're looking for the multiple time frames. Again, all of this comes into the use of market structure, which you can go through that playlist within this channel. I know I keep saying about it, but it is a superb playlist for you to understand how to apply everything with market structure. Now, I suggest watching the next video coming up, which goes through more details about using the line chart with your trading. And if you want to join up to that free Telegram community, you can. This is going to be a link popping up at the end of this video.